Welcome, guys, to this recording. My name is Albert Chitati. Today, I'm going to take you through Copilot for Azure. Just a quick video to get you started with Copilot for Azure. Allow me to mention first, Copilot for Azure at the moment is under preview and can only be accessed through a request. I will share the link at the description, whereby you can apply, you can request to use Copilot for Azure as it is under preview. Also, at the moment, at the time of recording this video, there is no any additional cost associated for you using Copilot for Azure, but I'll also share a link at the description so that I can keep posted in case of any updates regarding the pricing. So let's jump into it. So I'm in my Azure portal, and at this point you can see Copilot. Copilot for Azure can be accessed at any point, anywhere in your Azure portal. You can just use the Copilot for Azure, and you can ask questions using your natural language so that you can achieve full functionality of your Azure resources. You can ask questions to understand more about Azure services, Azure offerings, and also some Azure concepts. It's really a nice tool. We can quickly start with it. Okay, with me, I'd already play around with some of the prompts here, but the good thing is that you can uh, ask it. It could be maybe questions around design. We want to do a design of a solution in Azure. You can prompt it for more knowledge on it. You can also ask questions regarding troubleshooting. You're deploying a resource and then you're having a challenge. You can quickly use a Copilot for Azure in troubleshooting. You can also ask questions around optimizing your Azure environment in terms of maybe your disk, using maybe the kind of the disk that you've attached to your production VMs is not the recommended one. You can quickly ask Copilot and it will be able to offer more recommendations on that. Just a demo very quickly, for example, one of the things that I normally interact when I do the Azure is likely checking on the cost for my resources. And this is to see, to be able to keep track over my expenditures as well as for those of the client. And I find Copilot for Azure a great tool in this case because it helps you get started really quickly. For instance, I can ask Copilot, what are my top five? What are my top five expensive resources in my subscription? Okay, so we're prompting, we want to know what are our top five expensive resources in my subscription. I'm giving a scope of subscription, and then let's see what we'll be able to get by the help of Copilot for Azure. And the good thing is that even after it has given you the results, it also give you additional prompts that you can run to further help to further understand the results or the query that you had. Okay, so there we go. You can see it is telling me that you're currently in a scope Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. You have been charged a total of $58 for your Visual Studio Enterprise subscription from April 1st, 2024 to April 23rd, 2024. And then it gives me a breakdown of my resources. Let me quickly go back. You can see the first source to an app service. I also have a DNS zone. I also have a storage and then Microsoft Web resource type there. Highest of it is my app service plan. You can see it consuming $58.16, which accounts for 99.39%. And it goes on giving a description about an explanation about more the result that it has given. And the good thing is it also gives further information. Maybe you are new, tell us to identify the top five most expensive resources in your Azure subscription. You can use Azure Cost Management. This will provide comprehensive insights into your Azure cost, billing, and usage data. It can help you understand the costs associated with each of the resources and identify the ones that are costing the most. So you see, it's very a nice way. It goes on to give you more information about cost management, as your query was mostly into about cost and billing. Then you also can have, these are the additional prompts that you can run there. Maybe if you want top 5 least expensive resources, how can I reduce the cost of the most expensive resource? Let's see what does this tell us. Especially when dealing with the clients, you're managing a client's environment, and then you're picking something regarding cost. You'll want to know more about, now, if this one is the most expensive resource, how are you going to optimize so that you can reduce on the cost? A good way, we all know, maybe you can get it from the advisor score. When you go to the advisor recommendations under cost, you can as well get some of the things there in which you can optimize this resource. But let's see what the Copilot will tell us. So it is okay. So for this one, it's searching through the documentation and tell you the ways in which you can do that. And oh, coming at the top of the mind, studying about right sizing of your resource, using reserved instances, automatic to turn off idle resources, use cost management tools, and optimize storage. So you find that this one is giving us more information on how you can go about now to optimize or cut down on the cost. You can also ask a Copilot about our, or if you want to have a view about your Azure environment, for example, how many resources are there. An easier way it could be, you can start from there by asking how many resources are there in my environment. Let's see. So we see it, it the prompt first communicates with the Azure resource graph query, and then it gets the right information before getting back to us. Also, the good thing is that now it will be able to give us a cross query language, a KQL, in which we can run for us to get the results. And for this one, you can also click just here to run this query, and it should be able to tell, for example, the count of all my resources in this environment is 20. Also, there are additional prompts there that you feel that you can run. Another thing that you can say, maybe you want to get started using a certain, you want to get started using a certain service, but you don't know how to do it. An example, it could be maybe, for example, let's take a virtual machine. You can prompt it, how do I deploy a virtual machine, let's say maybe for high availability, be able to tell us now. And the good thing is that it gives you information regarding in relation to the latest Microsoft documentation that are there. It interacts now with the Microsoft documentations, and now gives you a step-by-step in which you can deploy a virtual machine. So to me, I'll say it's really a nice way to start with, and then you can view it as a companion. Your companion, it is there to make your work effective and make you use less time in achieving your objective. Something about security is that the query, it only runs the query as per your permission given. For example, if you only have the reader permission to a resource, it will be able to run things that reader permission permits. It cannot go and modify the resource, because that one will be a contributor, right? So it will not do anything greater than the the permission that the user who is running that prompt has. In this case, I'm doing it with my account here. So it will only do that one basing on the account that I have. So yeah, it tells me more information about deploying a virtual machine for high availability, the various ways that I can use virtual machine scale set, using load balancers, auto scaling, and all those kind of a thing. But if you're not here, so there are none of the limitations that are there. This is, as per the time I'm recording this video, there are limitations for Copilot for Azure, and one of it is that you can only run 15 requests per chart, and this chart has reached 15 requests. So starting another chart, and you can only run 10 charts in a span of 24 hours. You cannot run more than 10 chats in a day or 24 hours. I'll also share with you other more limitations that are there with the Copilot for Azure at the time of recording this video. So let's say now we want a step by step. That one was more of an explanation. Say provide a step by step on how to deploy a virtual machine. So let's not. Okay, you can start a new chat. Let's start a new chat. Then this now let's provide a step by step on how to deploy your virtual machine. The good thing is that you can also use it to deploy resources. Now you can maybe say create for me a storage account in this and this specific region. You can also query it to write for you script. Maybe you want a script for auto shutting, to shut down your virtual machine at a particular time. Your virtual machines. You can also prompt Copilot for Azure to easily do that for you. And I feel it's a good feature to me. You'll say it's a good feature, as this now reduce the time that it will have taken for you to go and write the script, or also leaving this page, going research the various commands that you should have. Now it's like we're only having everything under one page. You can search from Copilot for Azure while performing things under your Azure portal. And then this is the procedure there on how you can deploy your VM by logging into the Azure portal, create a resource, virtual machine, and all those kind of the recommended, all those steps that we normally follow. They're there. And it goes on and tell you the specific steps may vary depending on the requirements and the Azure services you are using. For example, if you're deploying a virtual machine scale set, you need to set the initial instance count and scaling policies. Yeah, a lot of things are there. You can deploy test environments on Azure. There are a lot of information it is giving you there. For example, you can see what are the different virtual machine services in Azure. If you want to know, let's see. So those are kind of the more knowledge that now you get by prompting it. In as much as we are prompting, one of the limitation about it is that the only it can only it's now only offered in English. The only prompts can be written in English, but as we believe at the time it's reached on the become generally available, it will support various languages, but at the moment it only supports English. And as that one is prompting, you can also maybe, if you're creating a custom solution for, maybe you want an alert, and then this alert will use a custom signals to fire that alert. You want virtual machines that were created in the last 24 hours to send an email or a logic app to do something with them. You can also prompt Copilot for Azure to run for you that query that you can use with your alert. So here you can say Azure offers a wide range of virtual machine sizes for different workloads. The sizes include, we have general purpose, compute optimized, you have memory optimized, storage optimized, GPU, high performance compute. The specific sizes available depends on the region which your resources are located. And then for more details, give us this one. So it's a good way to start, get you starting. Very, very, very nice way to help you start. Go on, try request for access to Copilot for Azure, play around with it, understand how it operates, and also unlock the various capability for Azure resources, offerings, and services. In So before I close, let me quickly share with you the limitations side of it. So for the limitation, the current limitation that are there, these are the limitation. Some of them you've seen while during that demo. One of which it was any action taken on more than 10 resources must be performed outside of Microsoft Copilot for Azure. An instance it could be maybe you want to deploy or you prompting it to shut down 20 VMs that are there. Such kind of a thing, it may be not be achieved at this point of like say this video, and that one can should be performed outside the Copilot for Azure. But anything less than 10, you can ask Copilot to do it for you. Another thing is that you can only have 15 requests during any given chat, and you can have 10 chats in a 24-hour period. Another thing is that some responses that display list will be limited to the top 5 items. In point whereby you have a lot of a very huge list, will be limited to just the top five. And then for some tasks and queries, using a resource name will not work, and the Azure resource ID must be provided. It could maybe you are performing a task you want to shut down the 15 VMs, or maybe let's say something less than 10 because you cannot do something greater than 10 at the moment. So in this case, you might be need to provide the resource IDs of these various virtual machines that you want to shut down. And as I mentioned, the Microsoft Copilot for Azure, which is currently under preview, is currently available in English only. And thank you all for listening to me.